Hey everyone, I'm Boom.
I'm Spice, and this is the season one wrap up. We finished up season one almost a year ago, and now we're finally doing a wrap up, so that way we can get into season two. This will act as a preview for our season two lineup, and will act as the sort of the bow on top of the present, I guess, of our wrapped up season one. So, boom. If you had to say your favorite and least favorite aspects of season one were, what were they?
Hmm. I guess my favorite aspect, just right off the bat, is just getting a platform
Yeah.
to talk about book. Like we've always like we were talking about this for a little while before we did it,
Yeah.
and it's super nice to be able to like have a book that your friend is reading,
Yeah.
and is going to be talking with you about. Because a lot of times I read books, whether I enjoy them or not, like I still want to talk about it.
Yeah.
And it's hard to have like good conversation about a book you've read if someone else like
Hasn't read
read the
Yeah.
book or cares to. So
Agreed.
that's been pretty awesome. Good or bad, it's always good to have. It's always fun to do this. Um, Least favorite has probably been like figuring. It's just been the technical stuff.
Yeah.
we're not really. I'm at least not very good at the technical portion of this.
And I'm not even involved in it. So I don't.
I will say I was doing editing before we filmed this, and I think I just made another leap that's going to make doing this easier.
That's good.
So from now on, like the things that are being recorded should be able to be posted like the same day we record them.
That's sweet.
That's been an issue before, but I found a new way to save things.
Yeah.
That instead of taking like 5 hours to save, it only took like 10 minutes.
That's awesome.
So that'll be nice. That's something to look forward to in 2024. How about you, Spice? What's been your favorite?
So my favorite part would probably be the fact that we've got this connection that allows us to hang out in ways that doesn't require like spending money or like really putting in a big investment. Like you're reading a book, yeah, but I would read a lot of these books anyways.
Right.
So that's nice. That's nice that we don't have to think of excuses to hang out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, hey, you want to record this book? Yeah, we'll have a conversation. Might grab some food. We'll talk about it. It's a good time. So that's probably my biggest gain from that. And the drawback would be the fact that I didn't read enough of these in depth going into it, and I've gotten better about it. Like 1984, I've got a notes app, like notes, that's super long.
Right.
Pride and Prejudice, super long. Like Pride and Prejudice, I didn't realize it was this long. Oh my god. Yeah, Pride and Prejudice is different. I don't even know how I quoted it because I was listening to the audiobook.
Yeah. That's a good point. That's something like, I think it was like around the time we did like episode 5, like I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings.
Yeah.
We started like, including more of the dog ears.
Yes.
Like more actual notes and like parts of these books. Especially for season 1, like the fantasy series, that's a little different because we're just kind of talking about fantasy. But like for these books, like that we're specifically wanting to talk about, like in a literal sense, literary sense, I feel like that was a huge step forward. Especially because sometimes you just have like less to just say about a book, but having that where you can like go back and like we can talk about specific points that meant something while we were reading it I think that was a big deal for us.
I agree. And I think that taking these notes is going to allow us to have more episodes like I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings.
Yes. Yep.
Unless like, I don't know, like A Room of One's Own, where like A Room of One's Own, important book, but like just not enough to talk about for like a podcast like this where it's literary, but it's not like, we're not scholars. We're learned, but we're not scholars.
Sure.
There's a difference there.
Yeah. No, I think it's been good too. You know, a lot of these are books that I've wanted to read. You know, we've had a couple that we had both read, but a lot of these are things that like I was excited to read and I like wanted to read in my everyday life, but to have like a platform or a reason to where like you have to read it,
it's motivating.
It's motivating. It just gives you a solid reason to do it. Because if not, it's easy to just stay in the genre you like to read. You know, like I read before this, I was reading a lot. You know, I've always been reading a lot, but it was like tons of fantasy. I still read tons. It doesn't take away from my reading of fantasy. I still read a lot of fantasy, but now I get to add this, and it helps you look through different lenses at the fantasy you're reading. You know, it makes you a better reader.
Yeah.
In total,
there's a connection between Pride and Prejudice and Brandon Sanderson's Mistborn that I totally missed because I read Mistborn first and Pride and Prejudice second. Like, that would have been nice to have that. Speaking of which, I've got our roster here for the next season. Yeah. And we'll be starting in earnest soon with 1984. But the season 2 lineup is, and before I get into it, I'll include who chose which books, because that's the theme for this season.
Right.
Is an equal number of Boom picks and Spice picks. It's number 11, picked by Boom, 1984. Episode 12, picked by Spice, The Fall by Albert Camus. Number 13, another Spice pick, Catcher in the Rye. A Boom pick, The Stranger for 14. That one's also Camus. 15, a Boom pick, Pride and Prejudice. Then the Spice pick, All Quiet in the Western Front for 16. 17, When the Emperor Was Divine by Boom. Well, it's not by Boom. It's picked by Boom. And then Things Fall Apart by Spice. 4 picked from Spice. It's by Chinua Achebe. And then Stoner by John Williams is 19. That's a Spice pick. And then lastly, The Great Gatsby by Boom. I've been trying to find a third person for the Gatsby episode. Because everyone knows Gatsby. A lot of people would read Gatsby again.
And it's such a quick, it's not like it's a big monster of a book.
Yeah.
Bam would he loves the movie.
Yeah.
I would just pretend you're reading about Leonardo DiCaprio. Just picture him as Gatsby and you're there.
Yeah. That's funny. That's great.
But that would be fun. There's a couple, in this that are like, it'd be cool to get guests on, like the Camus books are like pretty short.
I've reread The Stranger at least twice.
Important. Yes.
I could read The Stranger in a day. There's so much good stuff in The Stranger.
We had that in season 1 where like we had Hour of the Star and it's like 60 pages long.
Yeah, this one's longer than Hour of the Star, so that's complicated in that sense. Have you read The Stranger?
No.
Oh my God, dude! I'm so excited.
Yeah, to talk and about that goes, with what we were talking about. It's like I've always, it's like about The Stranger. Yeah. Everyone knows The Stranger, but I just never read it.
Do you own a copy of The Stranger?
I do.
Okay, good.
Yep.
I was about to lend you my beaten up copy.
When we were spitballing for the episodes a little while ago, I bought a couple of the season 2 books. Good.
Yeah, I'm read up to Gatsby. I just need to buy a copy of that one and reread it. Yeah, The Stranger's fun. The Stranger's fun. All Quiet on the Western Front's gonna tear you apart.
Yeah.
That one's so sad. No. So that one hurts. And the Stoner made me cry. Like, actually made me cry tears. So that one's intense. Things Fall Apart like changed the way I thought about being a man. So that one's important to me.
Yeah.
And then The Fall is just fun. The Fall's got a lot of quirks to it. That's one you're going to need secondary materials for afterwards to get some of the stuff. And then Catcher. I just finished Catcher in the Rye, like teaching it to a bunch of kids, a bunch of teenagers.
Right.
So like, yeah, that one I'll have a lot of interesting perspectives on.
Sweet. Yeah, that'd be kind of neat.
Yeah, I'm pumped.
Yeah, I'm excited to get into these. I've read a couple. Not quite to The Great Gatsby. I think we're almost ready to get going on 1984. It's gonna be an interesting first episode.
If we don't spend at least 2 hours on that one, then I feel like we've done a disservice to the book.
that's a wild wild time.
There's a lot to talk about.
Definitely. Yeah, a lot of weird, like, I feel like for a book that's so popular, like
super weird
stuff that I wonder, like, if people like maybe just don't remember,
or how many of them just haven't
actually read it. They just hear like, oh yeah, of course,
the TVs, the TVs, and the guy on the TV, and they're talking about Goldstein, of course. Doublethink, yeah, I know about 1984. Do you though?
Yeah,
Newspeak.
Wild book.
All righty. Yeah, join us in the imminent future for 1984. Please keep your ear to the ground for Fantasy Fridays. What's next up for Fantasy Fridays? Are we up to the Dune Project?
I think we are like right at the Dune Project because it's we've got some Discworlds in the queue, but like the Discworlds like lead
into the
Dune Project. So by the time we get into those, like it's go time.
Yes, sir.
Project.
So the wheels are in motion.
Yep.
And do you want me to debut the list for 1,000-Page Thursday?
Yeah. Give some incentive to checking this video out.
Yeah. So this one is tentative because I'm still trying to figure out what the last book is going to be. But currently, 1,000-Page Thursday is a series that we're doing where it's going to be 10 books where, with the exception of Moby Dick, they're all going to be above 1,000 pages. Moby Dick's just notoriously long, so we threw it in there.
That gets a pass.
Yep. So it's Moby Dick with an unsure amount of pages because there's multiple in print, and I've only done the audiobook. And then Don Quixote, 1,023. Also, I'm going to need to reorder these so they're in ascending order, but we'll see. War and Peace, 1,272. Infinite Jest, 1,072. 1Q84, 1,157. The Brothers Karamazov, 1,012. The Stand, 1,152. And Against the Day, 1,085. And Les Miserables at 1,488. So that's going to be chaotic. And will take years.
Yeah. That's gonna be an overarching project
for a long time. And I hope you join us for that.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Follow along. You'll probably be able to keep up with our pace, we're gonna be doing a lot in between there.
Yeah, it's gonna be a slog. So it's gonna be a slog.
You'll always know which one we're on. Once we get that first one up, you'll know what's coming next. And follow along. Feel free to let us know what you think about these.
If you have suggestions.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If you have really long books.
Yeah. None that you've written. I've never read
unless
you're
like a famous contemporary author.
Yeah, unless you're Leo Tolstoy.
Yeah, we're gonna have someone just like, oh, fine.
Oh, I see how it is. My books aren't good enough for you. Oh yeah, that's funny. And on that note, I've been Spice.
And I'm Boom. Thanks for sticking around for season 1. Thanks to everyone that came on. We had fun, and we hope to keep having fun with you.